Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV. This is Violair, and I know the other day I mentioned that, actually I think it was yesterday's episode, that said that the next day would be the 2.51. Yeah, I actually had to stop recording on the weekend for, I was having issues with some of my recording setups, and so it is now the day after 2.51. The servers have just come back up within the last few hours. I just got home from work, and we're not doing anything with that. We're just going to go here, right here, talk to Halbroda. Oh yeah, I bet everyone's excited about that. Like I said, I'm not too interested in it, though. They did add a hairstyle. I do like having hairstyles. No, we'll see. My character really doesn't go for the ponytail style. Maybe, actually, thinking about it might work. Anyways, let's get back on. Halbroda has a suggestion for a kind adventurer who came bearing Foreman Apram's message. Now, the way I see it, if you have time to be standing here questioning my character, then you most certainly have the time to get that arse of yours down to the salt strand and help us search for survivors of the wreck. Who knows? You may just run across this Philip everyone seems so eager to find. Here's to hoping the navigator hasn't found him first. Ooh, the navigator? I know. And I don't remember if I mentioned it, some fates are triggered by talking to an NPC. We are not going to go do that. Because I don't want to. No, I don't think I've ever actually paid attention to how big my character... Oh my god. I hate this armor. Why can't I have glamour yet? We'll get it soon enough. Actually, more likely we'll get out of these pants soon enough. And this body. Hi, I'm Philip. You say the foreman's wondering on my whereabouts? I thought he might be, but you must know, I cannot show me face at the Drydocks until I've righted this terrible wrong I caused. Oh, what the hell did you do, Philip? 2 nights passed. I made the trip from the Drydocks to Candlekeep Quay, just as the foreman asked. Seas were right rough, and the captain of the cargo ship was wary of bringing her too close to the cliff, so I paid a few coins to a fisher to take me out to meet her. By the time we was halfway twixt shore and ship, the swells had risen to nigh on 10 yawns, and 'twasn't long before the waves had hold of us. Try as we might say to the boat, nature's grip was too tight, and we was flung headlong into the Lemminsen galley. When I awoke, both ships were gone, and the cargo I was to collect lay strewn across the salt strand. I have made every effort to salvage it, but the sands are crawling with key current, and I ain't one with a sword. And now you see why it is I cannot return to the Drydocks. Of course, we're going to have to go kick some key current ass. Oh, on a brighter note, hunt mobs! Oh, hey guys, I'm just going to fight over here. We'll continue our conversation afterwards. Hope you don't mind. Oop. Mind that. It's always cracked me up about those NPCs. You'll probably hear that joke from me several times. It's like... I guess he's still trying to talk to him. Like, he's left. I just think that's hilarious. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it probably is just me, but one of the many, many silly things I find in this game. These guys are not so bad to kill. They're, a level lower than us. And that's always good. Unless I'm trying to go for experience change, in which case it wouldn't work. But so, I did read the patch notes, nothing too big, well, for me. As I said, there's the Manderville Gold Saucer, Chocobo Racing, Triple Triad has been added. A couple other things, the latest in the Relic quest line has been put in to upgrade your Relic weapon to Zeta. So, they just got that last upgrade was to become a new form of the weapon completely, like the what was it? The sword one for paladins turned into the Excalibur. The shield, I think, turned into an agent shield, which is cool. Where are these guys? Where is the second part? Over here. Well, at least this one looks a bit more safe. Not so ratty over here. And yet, one is here for me! I forgot to set my timer again. So apologies if this is a long or short episode, because I am derp. As I said, I just got home from work a little bit ago, so my brain's not all here. Okay. And set. Apologies if it goes long. Of course, most of the time I will go long if I'm in the middle of a cutscene, unless I forget, or unless I remember that I'm about to enter a long cutscene, and then I'll try to stop it before I enter said cutscene. Why did I use Bloodbath? Alright, because I think that's Tomahawk. I really need to get my abilities back and all, but that shall be far off. So, what has everyone been up to lately? Are y'all going out and enjoying the saucer? This should be Wednesday's episode of Count It, right? Then again, I also thought I had like 4 days worth of games this week for another one, but apparently I didn't. Oh, come on, you egg beater. So, I'm kind of strangely timed on my videos today. Probably Wednesday's offline video will be a touch late. Thursday's episode probably won't be too late. I know I've got that made. I was gonna have trouble with the next part of my recording for Space Quest 2. My audio does not want to sync properly, and I don't know why. Either that or I'm saying stuff before I'm posting it. I guess I could push the video back a bit, though. Or I guess I could trim some of the beginning of the video. Yeah, the only thing with my current setup is I don't have a way to know where exactly I'm starting the video. With using Audacity for recording my voice, I can easily go into there and say video will start in 3, 2, 1, which is what I do, but can't quite. I like to get the video, I like to start talking as soon as the video starts, but with the offline games, and actually not Sam & Max, specifically Space Quest 2, and actually the other Space Quest games I have, since I have to use a different recorder than I use for Final Fantasy, and pretty much any game on Steam, I have to make sure it's starting too, so my video records can get kind of messed up. But we're back at Philip. That night I was tossing to see like some doll of rags, and it weren't long before the world around me faded to black as I slipped deeper into the abyss. Below, the navigator would not see me to the gates of the Seven Hells. I woke to find myself washed ashore. Here's I've been ever since, waiting for a chance to salvage the we met Mr. Scarjo. Yeah, well, we did it for you. So, here. I'm missing parts. I don't know how I can repay you. I'll deliver the supplies right away, but first I must stop by the place so that I might pay respect to the widow of the brave fisherman who gave his life for a handful of corn. Until it happened, I'll be back at Drydocks by daybreak. Many thanks, adventurer. I will not forget this kindness. Okay, so we still have some monsters to kill up here. It looks like even more, and the Onion Prince is up. The Mandragora Prince, I don't remember what they call him. think it's the Mandragora Prince. The Onion Prince is a Mandragora pet. And a Mandragora enemy in one small battlefield. We'll be getting to that one later. I can guarantee it. Semi-optional storyline, but yeah, I don't think it's, unnecessary. Killer lightning sprites. And my goal for this week is to still get access to Satasha. Since I'm doing this kind of off of my normal recording schedule, I'm not sure if I will actually be able to do it this week. I may end up just making sure all my quests are done and see if I have any friends that are on that want to do it. If you're a viewer and you're on Cactar, and you want to join in, I'll even throw up a TeamSpeak if you want. I don't care. I mean, I'm here to have fun. If you want to have fun with me, you are more than welcome to. What am I putting in here? So if you want to hang out with me for an episode or two, because right after that there's 2 more dungeons immediately after. So if you want to help me with those dungeons, we can do that. Otherwise, I'll see if any of my friends will want to help me. What's this? Do I have to check more? Oh, there's more of these guys. Savinarian, ah yes, the mystical town of Savinarian. I don't remember where it is. I just know that there's a guy that comes from there in Pierce Mill. He's one of the main guys in the Relic Weapon storyline. And I have tape on my Mountain Dew for some reason. On a brighter note, I got my tax refund today. On a definitely brighter note, I got my paycheck too. I don't know the last time I've ever seen a comma in my bank account. But no, you cannot have it. Oh, this is bigger. No, you cannot have it. I already have plans to spend it on. I have a computer to pay off. I have, my normal things I gotta pay. Food, somewhat rent, and all that stuff. But if I do have anything left over, I'm debating maybe getting like a webcam, and I've just started collecting the loot crates and the nerd blocks and all that such. So I may get a webcam and do some recordings of that. Unfortunately, you will not see my face because I am very shy and very ugly. Oh yay! Completely mapped lower Lana Sea. Jackal! Jackal! It's Jackal! 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 And hopefully people will know where that joke is from. Wasn't it Jackal the first time you said it? Why would you keep saying that? I don't remember the actual quote on that part, but... It looks like I'm a bit more prepared for these guys now. Probably since I hit 14. And like I said, if anyone has any requests of something for me to do, just take note of my current level. And if you want to help me with something, and you're available probably on the weekends, let me know. I can probably hang out for a bit. The other thing I'm considering is starting my own free company at level 20 when I can, well, start a free company. Ooh, more stuff to kill. So, if you're looking for a free company on Cactuar to join, and you like dealing with assholes like me, well, feel free to join. I have not decided the name yet, but chances are it will be pony related. You have been warned. I'll probably at least have a link shell, but I know most people want their own free companies. It's not like my free company is going to restrict, like, end-game activity. Like, we'll do it, because that's the main point of what I'm doing. I'm trying to do everything for recording purposes. Even though I can't get the Alda and Gridania early storyline quest done. But there is a path that they converge, and that's what we're mostly aiming for. What do we got here? Oh, yeah, that guy above the bridge wanted the Lily Bells. Oh, hi. Oh, I hate these things. These monsters are traps. I believe the technical term is fly trap. And they were in Final Fantasy XI, just like this. But that cone move they just did, that is a knockback move. And it is terrible when you get more than one of them together. So, best bet is to, like if you're in a dungeon, try to face the wall if they're aiming at you. I have one other complaint about knockback in dungeons. It's not something that I'm going to call out, even though it is something because of the player. It's just something that really bothers me. I'll go ahead and tell you it's Fluid Aura. I do not like Fluid Aura as a tank. I've never used it on high-leveled White Mage unless I was alone. Definitely never used it in dungeon. People, Fluid Aura. It's gonna knock the enemy back. The mob, or the tank, is going to think he lost something, and he'll go after it, and you risk getting more mobs pulled than you can handle. So, it's not worth it. If you just let smack you for a few hits, it helps get it off eventually. You're not that squishy. I don't think I've ever... I don't know if, like, the Summoner and the Black Mage are squishy, but or Scholar, I should say, are squishy, but White Mage is really durable. That's all I have to say on that. Okay, let's kill these guys for our thingamabob. And, yes, I have to deliver the things up to that guy. But we have a lot of quests to turn in today. So does anyone have any comments on either like my UI setup, or if they think they would like something shown differently? The stuff that's here is kind of my place. I would, and as you can see when I'm not holding it, I don't, the ability bar does not pop up. It's only when I'm not using, or it's when I'm using it that it shows. I may, if I can figure out how, add some extra bars to just do some minor actions so I don't have to keep going through menus. But we'll see on that one. Okay. So, now we want to go back to town. Now there's a Can of Keep Quiet one, but I would jump, except there's a little catch with that jumping off a cliff with something aggroing you. Most of the time, if you fall off a cliff and nothing's aggroing you, and it's a very tall cliff, you will make it with 1 hit point. But if you have aggro on an enemy, you will die. It does not matter if they've caught you or anything, you could be 5 miles in front of it and you would still die. Yeah, it's kind of not the best thing I like. Especially considering how often I like to use jumping off of things. Here, getting some gift from me from the candle keeper Ostron Torch. I don't recall ever meeting anyone. Oh, I'm not seeing this. Yes, it's coming back to me. Rossness, I believe his name was. I remember specifically commenting on how I despise my patrols through the God's Grip in the area. It's full of Lanosian lily bells. And a terrible weed always sent me into sneezing fits. Oh no. I am flattered. I'm afraid I can't return the gesture. The head watcher of the Moraby Drydocks is my responsibility that the peace is kept under the victory's christening. Simply having time to pay would-be suitors any mind, no matter how desperate they may be. Though, perhaps once the ship is complete, I could consider a climb up the peninsula. Perhaps. Well, that's better than nothing, guy. Ooh, here that we can't wear it until level 15. Which we're almost at, probably by the time I turn in all the quests here. Let's see. Need to go to main storyline quest over here. Over here. Upper level. I'm never good with, the up part of things. I don't do the Z-axis. I am relieved to hear that both Philip and the supplies are unharmed, though it was foolish for him to believe that I would blame him for that which was obviously out of his hands. You see, there was no storm that day, and the seas here adjacent to the Drydocks were as calm as a slumbering trout. This means he believed that the trouble the ships encounter off Candle keep quiet with a less natural sort, the sort which the Sahagin had been known to conjure. Uh-oh. Oh, new weapon for us. Oh, let's get that. I don't even think we equipped the weapon that we got from the last Marauder turn-in. What was that other thing I got? Shoes? Was it shoes? Was it? It was shoes. Bronze Sabatons. Let's see. Bronze Sabaton. Alright, they're level 15. That's why I didn't equip them. Victory Foreman Affirm is considering recommending you for an important job involving dry dock security. Awesome! Something we might actually be good at. I mean, I once was a security guard at a pizza place. All these really cool animatronics. It was kind of creepy, but it was a blast. I would do that job again. Valier, while I originally had doubts about your motives, you have repeatedly proven yourself an asset to Naldo and Vimillies. I still do not like you. Thank you. But that does not mean I do not trust you. Gimthada, head of the watch here at Drydocks, believes that pirates may be planning an attack on the Victory, and she requires assistance investigating the group of unsavory individuals making camp nearby. I have recommended you for the task. Despite all Limsa and Laminza endured before, during, and following the calamity, the fact that there are still those who would turn their back on the city-state so that they might line their pockets with a few handful of coins, just the thought of it sickens me. I can't blame you. Okay, we're looking over there. Maybe not. Well, I guess we're going over here. We have quest to turn in. Hey, Hazel. 3 cores. 3 hams. We'll kill him. Leviathan thy, you really done good. Go on and fetch me the blinking cores. Abram be right pleased to see that, he will. Because the foreman came up with the idea to use cores to heat the rivets. Clever one, that man. Sharper than a fang in a fishback's beak. Probably is why he made Chief so quick-like. Ooh, we get hands that aren't available until level 15. Oh, guess what? We're level 15. So, that gives us access to level 15 gloves, level 15 shoes, and that does not help the hooker look. There has to be a level 15 body coming up. It just has to be. At this level, I should be at, this would be the first time you would be able to enter a dungeon. Which, as I've said, the first one is Sestasha. And, but you have to go through the main storyline to get to that. And before I forget again, our handy dandy Aetherite to tuning. Alright. Ah yes, I had a feeling you want at Vermsent. Since you first arrived on the Moraby Drydocks, I have had my men watch you. Oh, there's no need to get angry. I make it a point to keep an eye on all those new to the area. It is simply protocol. And you will be pleased to know that nothing incriminating was found. You appear to be a model citizen. That and the foreman seems to think somewhat highly of you, which I must admit is quite shocking. The man doesn't even trust his own mother. Very well then, I assume Amber informed you of what your task would be, or what your task would entail. Pirates, we believe, were conspiring to raid the Drydocks, were last seen making camp near an ancient stone called the Mark of the Spinner. I would have you approach the men, posing as a lost adventurer, and see if you cannot somehow learn of their intentions. Tanago is stationed in the rear gates, can provide you with the exact location of the map. Okay. So I guess we're talking to this person over here. I've been so sick lately. I mean, like, the whole last month, even. Alright. Feeler! Haha! I knew it! No more sardines for Tanago. Tonight, I shall dine on the finest salmon on the peninsula. Why? Why a little wager going with some of the other girls on who Apram would recommend for next job. My money was on you. Yeah. Ah, the job. Yes, of course. If you follow the road past the gates to the southeast, you will eventually come to a barren cape with a single large stone half buried in a cliff overlooking the sea. Followers of the 12 say it's a holy place dedicated to Nimia the Spinner. I'd be surprised if the pirates crammed up there were aware of that, though. Okay, we got some pirates to take care of. I want to say that this area may have been involved in one of the calamity event in 1.0 or 1.2x. And hey, we got a bunch of stuff to kill over here. I want to say that, I'm not completely sure. But I do know that there was something about marked stones. And I heard most of them had large monsters at them. Ridiculously leveled monsters. I don't know. I will admit I am kind of disappointed that the new patch didn't have anything, people would complain about wise. You may not know this, but I keep a thread on the main forum for Final Fantasy, the general forum. It is called The Many Depths of Final Fantasy XIV. It is a satire thread where I explain, basically explain why people are stupid in thinking what they think. And overblowing it out of proportion and saying it will kill the game. So, if you ever go on the general board and you're bored, go look that up. It doesn't tend to stay at the top for long, but you can also, there are several pages full of people who take the thing seriously. I recommend page 10. Disreputable Pirate. Okay. Hello. I'm giving you the count of 9 to step back on that path and carry your venturing arms back down whatever rock it is you crawled out from. See, I added up to my ears with your type, roaming the ill like I was yours to roam. I'm going to be that a man can add a mug of rum without some shape-pressed outlander running up and asking which is the way to the local amusement. 7 L's, I find out. I'm a bloody pirate, goddammit. Thal's balls. I think that's the first time we've had that phrase in here. It will not be the last. Once we have my boy back, I'm putting this godforsaken pisshole of an island so far behind me no one remember I was ever here. Come on, Scrags, we've knives to sharpen. That doesn't sound good. Does that mean he's gonna, like, kill everyone here? Okay. Well, let's go back to Gimp Soda. And... well, I was going to say take a side trip to turn that quest in down there, but... no, it's closer to just go back up here. This is one of those zones I haven't spent much time in unless I'm in a hunt. Like I said, I think the only time I ever came here for anything at all was the unlock for the wolf's den, which is not something I need, so... but I think it was, for some reason, marked as a main storyline quest. Could be wrong. So the trespassers are indeed pirates, and they are indeed planning something, but what is this talk of getting me boy back? Could be their target never was the victory? Something is not right, and I won't sit idly waiting for those pirates to make the first move. I shall order increased patrols immediately. Thank you again for your help, Vila. It appears we were wise to put our trust in you. Alright, now we get a level 15 belt, which is good. Yeah, as you can see, we're starting to get more options, and that's 15 is where you'll start seeing the tank options, the DPS options, and the healer options, rather than just Disciple of War and Disciple of Magic. Though technically the Disciple of Magic ones are still mage ones. What did I just get? A belt. And whenever you get a new piece of armor, I don't think I showed it before, up in the left or upper right corner, you'll see that little circular pointing arrows, and there's a yellow Y above it. You just want to hit the Y on it. It'll probably be triangle if you're on a PlayStation 3. I don't remember. I haven't touched that thing since I got a computer. But you do that, and it will upgrade or update your armor so that your, you update your sets. Captain of the watch at the Moraby Drydocks wishes your aid in dealing with potential intruders. I am concerned, Vila. It appears that the pirates I had you investigate are on the move. They creep ever closer to the Drydocks, so I must assume they mean to target the Victory herself. That ship is a symbol of everything Limbs of the Limited strives to become, and I will not allow these base scoundrels to lay a single finger upon her hull. I must apprehend them before they put their plans into motion, and you, Vila, are just the woman to do it. Without your capable assistance, I fear the security of the Drydock cannot be guaranteed. Not moments ago, my guards submitted reports of suspicious activity in the area. Pray begin your efforts by listening to one of their accounts firsthand. It matters not whom you choose to speak with. Be sure to question either Earthworst at the first gate or Kanago at the rear. Any suspect saboteurs you encounter during the course of your investigation are to be interrogated. Report any and all findings directly to me. Well, that sounds like something we should probably do in the next episode. I hope you've enjoyed this video and have fun.